With the primaries behind us and the general election still to come, people are talking about politics. And these conversations, especially in the workplace, can get tense and downright uncomfortable. So how do you keep the peace? We called in an expert, Genesis Fisher with JAMS Pathways, a conflict resolution and workforce performance company. Genesis, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be with you today.
I mean, this one's a toughie, man, especially in such a difficult political climate. What are our best practices to navigate these waters?
That's a great question. And let me first say that some of this is a little understandable, right? We spend so much time at work that sometimes our colleagues become our friends and even feel like family. And because of that, sometimes we want to share who we are outside the 9 to 5. That instinct is understandable, but we also have to remember that the workplace isn't for politics. And so what are some tips to help that leadership should consider? And so the first is that for leaders who encounter these conversations, the goal is not to critique the underlying politics, but rather to focus on this particular conversation, maybe why this particular conversation isn't appropriate. So separate the people from the problem. The second tip is really the employee handbook. Consider having a clear policy that educates employees about expectations and clear language to help them understand that enforcement, that is not discretionary, even personal, that it really is just this policy. And the policy should consider addressing language, but also things like behavior and nonverbal communication, because people want to know what's okay to say, and then also what's okay to display. Those are two big topics. And then lastly, I'll share that if things get tense, call and help. People can bring an outside, fresh perspective and a broader toolkit.
There used to be a day where we didn't know the political views of the people sitting next to us. I feel like social media gave us a big window into how people think. How do we navigate those blurred lines as far as what we see on social media and then we're sitting next to someone at work, et cetera?
Okay, this is tough. This is tough, right? Because, it used to be that you clock out on Friday, and then you'll see Joan and Ronnie Monday morning, right? But now you'll see your coworkers engaging with the world, what they think is important. You see it on your phone every 5 minutes, every single day. And I think businesses are thinking about, obviously people don't want to shut down communication and shut down, people's First Amendment rights, but they're also thinking about how behavior and speech outside the workplace, how it impacts businesses and their reputation. It's a big question. But I would say, for people's own personal, state of mind, sometimes it's good to just maybe not check your colleagues' social media if you can.
We can hide some people until after the election, maybe. Don't tell them. It doesn't show them when you do. Genesis, thank you so much. I think compassion for everyone across the board will get you a long way, too. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.